Today my guest is Christy Ziglar.
How do we teach these children to think beyond the moment, to say no to instant gratification?
Welcome to Heritage of Truth. Today my guest is Christy Ziglar. Now you might recognize that name, Ziglar. Welcome, Christy.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate the chance to be here.
Tell us why we would recognize that Ziglar name.
Well, my uncle, Zig Ziglar, was the famous motivator and legendary pioneer in teaching adults leadership principles.
And now you're trying to teach that to children.
I am. I've written a new book, Can't Wait, Willow.
Right here.
And it's the first in a new series that helps children learn to make better choices. So the goal of Willow's story is to teach patience and delayed gratification, because Willow gets a little distracted on her way to the circus.
I can't imagine children getting distracted.
No, children and all of us. You know, the background of this story is that in addition to being a mother of twins, I am a financial planner. Mm-hmm. And several years ago was involved in a financial literacy program for first and second graders. And during my work on that project, it occurred to me that while teaching basic money concepts like saving and budgeting was hugely important, the bigger challenge was, how do we teach these children to think beyond the moment, to say no to instant gratification? And you know, really, how do we teach them to make better choices in general? So a story was born about Willow, and then that quickly expanded into a series, the Shine Bright Kids.
And tell us about this Shine Bright Kids series.
Well, so in addition to Can't Wait, Willow, Must Have Marvin is a little boy who's going to need to learn that people matter more than things. We have Whatever Wanda, who's going to need to learn to try new things. Whiny Willie, who needs a new attitude, to name a few, and there are more coming after that.
That sounds great. Now, there are going to be some other products related to these, aren't there?
There are. So yes, this is just the beginning, but we really hope that these stories will give parents and families a framework to talk about what matters most and our values, and to set goals together, because as you know, if we don't know what's most important, then we can get easily distracted, like Willow, and we'll settle for good when we could have had great. But we're working on some reward charts. In fact, on our current website, if you go to can'twaitwillow.com, there's some free reward charts.
Or is that
just straight can'twaitwillow.com. There's some free reward charts. We've got a board game that's going to be coming out, and some apps that are being developed. We just want to give families a way to start talking about and thinking about consequences, because every choice we make has a consequence.
That's true. That's true. Well, I wanted to show a few of these pages. This is really a nicely illustrated book. It's really fun.
Thank you. Luann Martin, I think, just did a fantastic job, and I'm so grateful to Ideals, the publisher, for connecting us. You'll notice there's a star hidden within the illustrations, and it's a fun way that when you're reading with children, you can look for the star together and then talk about his mood, because it changes. So when characters, in Willow's case, are making a good choice, he shines bright, and if maybe she's making the not so good choice, he looks a little bit sad and lackluster. So you can talk with your kids about what are the choice points that we all have in our everyday lives.
Now, you have a message at the beginning of the book. Why don't you tell us about that?
Sure, we do. Every book has a message for the grown-ups. And again, we all have a little bit of Willow inside of us. So she's fun-loving and spunky and loves to do things in the moment, but everything has a consequence. For the Zig Ziglar fans out there, there's a Zig quote at the beginning of each story. And in the case of Can't Wait, Willow, it's sometimes you've got to say no to the good to say yes to the best. And then there's a version for the kids. So for Willow, it's sometimes you need to say no. It can be better to wait, save yes for the super amazing, end up with the truly great.
That's good. So you're doing the Zig Ziglar children's version as his niece.
It is. Yeah. We're just trying again. There's timeless wisdom and ageless advice that stays with all generations. In previous generations, there was certain common sense and things that were taught that maybe we're not doing as good a job of teaching today. We're just in such a busy, fast-paced world.
Definitely.
That I think the act of carving out time to read a book with a child, is a precious moment and a great learning opportunity. And we've got to talk about these things.
We do.
Because,
and it looks like this will be a good vehicle.
Well, I sure hope so. Training up a child, we're all instructed to do that. I think the younger, the better. So, I've heard people with their children as young as 2 that are loving looking for the star, and the 3-year-olds are looking for the emotion. And then as they get older, you're really talking to them about choices and what is a goal and setting goals that are age appropriate. And I hope that this will be a great tool for parents.
How old are your twins now?
They're 6.
They're 6.
They are 6. So this is perfect for them, and it already gives us, again, a framework. So when we're out shopping or doing our everyday life together, we can talk about Willow, and it's given us a way to discuss how to make a better choice, because they'll grab for this or they'll grab for that. And I'll say, well, you can have those crackers, but you're not going to be able to have dessert after dinner, and they're given a choice. And there's a consequence for that choice. And I think, again, for grown-ups, sometimes that's the hard part, is enforcing the consequence.
Yeah, but it's so important that we do.
It is, because if we don't do it now when they're young, then the consequences will be that much more devastating later as adults.
That's right. And sometimes if we haven't done that when they're young, the consequences will be the natural consequences from their bad choices, and not anything that we've done.
Exactly, and we all want our kids to be the very best, reach their true potential.
Right.
So
that's good. People can find you online at
can'twaitwillow.com.
Can'twaitwillow.com.
And again, there's some free reward charts. We call them star charts. So that's a great way to start talking to your kids and reinforce some of these values and lessons.
Okay, and on that website, I'm sure you'll announce whenever you have a new book coming out.
Yes, Must Have Marvin will be out in spring 2014.
Okay. Thank you so much for being our guest,
Thank you.
Christy.
I really appreciate it.